In Australia, budgets have been massively blown, and we're talking on the order of billions of dollars when it comes to investing in cleaner burning liquefied natural gas. Now, ConocoPhillips, Total, and other global energy giants have pumped in really $60 billion in order to get out the so-called LNG, as it's also commonly referred to. I'm Ramy Inocencio for Asia Today. The Wall Street Journal's Ross Kelly joins me from Sydney. Now, Ross, this really doesn't seem to be paying off for these global energy giants, at least not yet. So you think their executives are wishing that maybe they hadn't got into this at all?
Well, I think it might be a bit early to determine whether or not they'd be regretting it. Even though they started building these projects probably about 5 years or so ago, and they'll be finished in around about a year's time, they still operate for decades. So there's still 20 or 30 years of operation to come. And most of the gas sale contracts are locked in at prices that kind of move along with the oil price.
Right. When talking about smoother operations, what are some of the biggest challenges that these global energy giants have faced?
Any large energy project or energy export project always has its challenges. They're very, very large, complex projects. But in this instance, these guys are trying to develop a type of fuel that's never been developed for export before. Big LNG projects usually rely on very large gas resources offshore underneath the water that you only need a handful of wells to develop, whereas these gas resources are trapped in coal seams onshore, and you need thousands of wells to be able to develop the resource. So that brings along a lot of logistical challenges. There's also, it's not as certain that the quality of the gas resource is going to be the same in every single well. So some of them are finding that there's not enough gas in their wells, and they're having to go and drill even more, which is pushing up the cost, or some of them are actually having to buy gas from rivals, and that's pushing up the cost of their projects too.
Right, it sounds like a whole slew of issues that they have to deal with. It makes you wonder why they'd want to get into it. But of course, the whole entire thing is the profits. What can they do in order to stop at least the money loss?
Well, they did have an opportunity before probably to collaborate a little bit, share some infrastructure. All of them decided to go it alone, so the opportunities to do that now are probably not as high as they were before. There's 3 projects at the moment that are currently under construction. There is one more opportunity for major collaboration, and that's a 4th project being operated by Royal Dutch Shell. They haven't actually started building a project yet. They've got lots of gas in the ground, and they could actually decide to perhaps sell their gas to rival projects or merge with another project. But we'll have to wait and see what happens there. As for the long-term profitability of these projects, a lot is going to depend on what happens in global energy markets. Whilst a lot of them have experienced some problems on the cost side, if they're still able to attract a decent price for their gas well into the future, then the projects might be more profitable. At the moment, there's a lot of natural gas being developed in the US, and there's some projects that are considering exporting gas from the US over to Asia. Now, if that happens, there'll be a lot more gas going to the Asian market. There'll be a lot more supply. That'll reduce the price of the producers will be able to get for their gas, and it will make it a lot harder. One analyst in particular has suggested that, whilst these guys were all talking about getting return rates in the mid double digits back in 2008, it's starting to look like some of the projects might be only getting return rates in the 6 or 7% range. But of course, a lot's going to depend on what the global gas market looks like over the duration of the projects.
Right, that's a pretty drastic fall in potential profits there, but everyone's going to be hoping and hanging on, as you say, for the long term. All right, the Wall Street Journal's Ross Kelly from Sydney talking about how a lot of global energy giants are putting in a lot of money, billions of dollars, in order to get out liquefied natural gas. For more on this, head to his story right now on thewallstreetjournal.com. I'm Ramy Inocencio in Hong Kong.